Hello everybody and welcome to FOURIE Rugby on FOURIE Sports. For today's preview, Stormers versus Bulls, the second of the four URC quarterfinals this weekend, and a very interesting one, and it's a very big interesting team news, especially for the Stormers, who welcome back two very important players back from injury this weekend, and a very interesting team selection to see if they can just sort of do what they're expected to do with them really and beat the Bulls in the quarterfinals. The Bulls looking to try and pull off an upset. And look, Bulls and upset in the URC playoffs is quite well documented when they went last season over to Dublin and beat Leinster, which kind of paved the way, I suppose, for Stormers to actually win the URC in the end. But this weekend, we were going to see the North and South Derby. It's always the biggest match in South Africa, and I think this weekend will be absolutely no different whatsoever. Despite how the Bulls have not been in the best of form in the last month or two, I do think they're going to rock up. I think the Stormers have also been a little bit sort of subpar to their usual high standards in the last few weeks. Before we look at the two teams, please do smash the like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We'll start with the home side and some massive news with two players in FOURIE and ZAS returning from injury and both starting this weekend. Interesting enough, because we spoke about it on the on our fan forum last night, the fact and how important FOURIE is to the side and how the Stormers have really struggled without him. Well, they're not going to have to worry about not having him because he is back this weekend. So if we look at the side, it's the All Springbok front row of Stephen Kitsoff, who captains the side in what could be his last game for the Stormers if they were to lose. Joseph Dweber, Francois Herbert just joins him. You then got Ruben van Heerden, who have been very impressive since coming back to the Stormers. Marvin Orie next to him. You then got FOURIE, Achieva Diamani, Evan Ruiz is the loose trio that won them the URC last season. So that is their best pack. It is the best pack they can name. I generally don't think they can get any stronger in any of those positions. You know, Ben Jason Dixon's been very good off the bench. And very good starting in place for Achieva Diamani whilst they're sidelined. But that is their best pack. To be honest, I think this is pretty much close to their strongest team. I think the only sort of players who come in is Sebeo Sinatla, who's been ruled out. He was in a car accident last night. Thankfully, he is okay, but he is not in a position to be, well, not in condition to be playing rugby this weekend. So I personally, bar maybe that, and Angelo Davis is a very capable player. I don't see how this team gets much stronger. Herschel Yankees does start next to Mani Liebach. Herschel Yankees, for me, has been outplaying Paul de Wet for the last few months and looking much better, much more like the Herschel Yankees that went to the World Cup in 2019. Mani Liebach's been a little bit off the mark in recent weeks, so he'll be looking to try and sort of just step things up a little bit and try and get back to his best form. Leon Zas, Angelo Davis, plenty of pace out in the wings. Defensively, you're going to have to be quite good as well because you got Zats versus Kane and Moody. You have Angelo Davis up against David Creel, so there will be tests defensively as well. Kirk Lawrence, who we know likes to run with the ball. David Billitzer will play at full back, which is I think where they can best utilize him right now. Get him into the game a lot more. But Andrew Bessie's been terrific at inside centre. So as I said, I don't think the Stormers start gets much stronger. Then off the bench, JJ Kotze, Ali for Mark Dieting for Sheer, Gary Porter, Ben Jason Dixon, Ville Engelbrecht. They have gone with a 6-2 split. Paul de Wet and Sasha Fainburn Gomezulu actually made his debut a year ago in the URC quarterfinals against Edinburgh. He comes into the start on the bench as a utility back. In terms of the Bulls, though, this is how they will line up. And interesting enough, Marcel Coetzee back into the Bulls setup, but not playing this weekend. He will play in the Currie Cup. Would be interesting to see if the Bulls were to win this weekend, where they'd look at bringing him in next week. But it'll be Gerard Steenekamp, Johan Kobler, Morné Smith in the front row, Ruan Vermaak, who for me has been a very underrated player this season, next to Captain Ruan Nokia, Marco van Staden, Karlberg, Ulrich Lowe. It's a pretty settled pack. Not too many surprises there. Ambrose Pierre Partners, Johan Goosen. Johan Goosen, a little bit of the ace up the sleeve of Jake White. If he comes off and he puts in one of those Johan Goosen performances, that could be a difference maker. You got to feel for Chris Smith, who's done a very solid job for the Bulls over the last 18 months. But Johan Goosen's got that X factor, and I think that at the end of the day, they are going in as underdogs, and if he can turn it up, he can win a game for them. I do think that Chris Smith's a safer option in terms of being able to execute a certain game plan. But when you're playing against a team which you're not expected to beat, maybe you do need something a bit different. David Creel, Kane and Moody, Kirk Lawrence, so the back three, a very good back three. Harold Forster starts, and Stefan Gans, who sort of fell to the wayside a little bit in the last year and sort of struggled to get a bit of game time. Now firmly back as the number one choice at outside centre. Off the bench, Bismarck Duplessis, Imperial Tanzima, Francois Klopper, Janko Swanepoel, Nizam Carr. Interesting enough, we have 17 too much of Nizam Carr. Keegan Johannes, who seems to have jumped ahead of Zach Berg in the pecking order. Chris Smith, Lionel Murphy will be bringing a lot of experience off the bench as well. Two very good sides and a field as well, which is going to play a big role. There was the whole Monster Truck event at the Cape Town Stadium 2 weeks ago. The field was looking dreadful last week. Apparently it's looking a lot better this week, but Stephen Kitsoff in his press conference spoke about the fact that scrums and mauls will be tricky, so not potentially the best turf they could ask for. And it'll be interesting to see how that sort of conditions will play to both the different teams' strengths and weaknesses. But let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven. I'll chat to you soon.